morning. Today I would like to talk to you a little bit about Facebook privacy, where to access the new privacy controls, and show you some tools that they provide to monitor your own digital footprint. Facebook seems to change their privacy policies and controls quite often, as they implement new features and respond to some bad publicity and the legitimate concerns from their users. While improving their product, particularly the privacy controls, is something we should all applaud, it means that it's necessary to keep your own personal skills and knowledge up to date if you want to maintain some control over your personal information. Before we look at the tools, it's important to recognize that people use Facebook and other social networks for different reasons. How you set up your personal privacy settings will depend on how you use it and your own personal comfort level. For example, one person may use Facebook for communicating primarily with close friends and family. Mom, I'm looking at you. That person may have deep relationships with every single person on their friends list, so they might prefer having the tightest possible privacy controls so that they can be comfortable talking to their close friends about what's going on in their lives. Other people, however, use Facebook for networking and making connections with professional colleagues. They may have hundreds or thousands of people on their friends list, including some people they barely know face to face. This requires a whole different approach to privacy settings, and more importantly, a different approach to the sorts of things that you post. Like most cyber safety issues, privacy is a behavior, not a policy or a setting on your software. You choose who goes on your friends list and what you say and share. Ultimately, you are the best protection. Don't rely on Facebook, Google, or anyone else to protect you from yourself. So, the first step in any Facebook privacy audit is to think about how you use it. Make sure that your friends list matches those goals. If you share your personal thoughts, photos, or anything else which might be sensitive, your first step should probably be to clean up your friends list. Most Facebook privacy settings rely on who you put on that list. It shouldn't be a competition to see who has the most Facebook friends. The really important part is that the correct people are on the list. I'll show you just quickly how to access your friends list, although this is pretty basic stuff. It's right here on the left-hand sidebar. If you click more, depending on how much stuff you have on your sidebar, or scroll down a little bit, you should reveal the sort of friends menu. If you click right on the word friends, and then click see all friends, that will bring you to your complete friends list. Now, for your complete friends list, every time you mouse over the friend button, it gives you several options, including unfriend at the very bottom, or you can add them to a list. Now, you can create your own custom lists for sharing certain things with certain people. One of those lists, however, right at the bottom, is a restricted list. So you can keep people as your sort of quasi-friends, but still restrict the sorts of information that they can see. So that's a pretty useful option to know about right there. Okay, here we are back at my main newsfeed, and I'll show you where you can get at all of Facebook's privacy controls since their last update. Now, the last update added a couple new features, but more or less they were just reorganizing their existing privacy controls and kind of making it a little bit easier to find and understand. Now, all of the privacy controls can be accessed right on the main menu bar you'll find at the top, hidden behind this little lock icon. So if you click on the lock icon, it will give you, in very plain, easy to understand language, all of your most important security settings. Who can see your stuff, who has the ability to find you and contact you, and what you do, where do you go to block somebody or to take steps when you're being harassed on Facebook. So these are three really important options. Now, if you click on the See More settings at the bottom, it will obviously bring you to the full privacy tools and settings menu, where you get lots of different options over your timeline, blocking, notifications, and all that other stuff. Also, wherever you are in Facebook, if you click on the little gear, which normally in computer speak means settings, you'll notice that there is another link that will bring you to precisely the same place. So there are two quick ways to get at your privacy settings and tools. As you can imagine, we could probably spend hours looking at all of the different settings and the ways that you can personalize them and tweak them to create the perfect Facebook environment for you. Instead, I think what we're going to do is focus on the main privacy settings that you can access just by, again, clicking on this little lock button. So if we reveal these options again and look at the top one, which is for me the most important stuff, and grab this little twisty, it will reveal 3 very interesting things that you can click on. The first one, in my opinion, is the main privacy setting. Who can see your future posts? Who can see the things that you put on your timeline? This is super essential. Now, you see that I've got it set to friends. Depending on your situation, you may be comfortable setting your posts to public. You also have the option to set it to only me, or you can identify a particular group of people, and remember, you can customize these lists so that you can target your posts to particular people. Now, notice that it indicates future posts, and the reason that it does that, of course, is that since you're changing the sharing settings, that change takes effect with the next thing that you post. Now, if you want to go back in time and review all your previous posts or photos that you've been tagged in or other things that are connected with you, that's what this middle tool is for. It's the activity log. Now, if you click on the activity log, it will pull up a timeline more than your own personal timeline. It shows every update, every application that has collected information about you. So you can see some of the music that I played on SoundCloud. In some cases, it even shows you what articles you've read on Yahoo or different places like that. All these little quizzes that your friends share with you and you respond to them, sometimes the answers are publicly available. So you can scroll down through all of your activity feed, see who's tagged you in photos, and you can remove it from your own timeline. You can remove tags. You can unshare stuff that you've previously shared. And you basically have options to reveal or hide pretty much anything that has been related to you on Facebook. Now, it does involve scrolling through and looking at it with your own eyes, but if you're getting ready to prepare to look for a new job or apply to a college or university, it is worth your time to see what posts have been associated with you and to hide them or allow them appropriately. Here we are one more time back at my newsfeed. So we've looked at how to adjust your privacy settings, how to control who sees the things that you post. We've also had a look at how to use the activity log to go back in time and review everything that you've posted in the past or anything that's been tagged or associated with you, like photos. The final step, I think, is to have a look at what your digital footprint looks like to other people. So we get at that tool the same way we got at the others, by clicking on the Privacy Shortcuts button, click on Who Can See My Stuff, and we're going to look at the third option, the only one we haven't looked at. What do other people see on my timeline? So I'm going to click on it, and it's going to pull up my timeline, but not my timeline as I normally see it, because of course, since it's my profile, Facebook has no problem revealing all of the information to me. What I want to see, however, is what a member of the general public sees, or perhaps what a specific person sees. Now, think about this. This can be pretty useful if you use things like lists to control your privacy. You could, for example, pull somebody off of your friends list and view your profile as a member of your friends list would see it. Or if you maintain a separate family list, you could pull somebody off of that family list and view your timeline as if it was your mom. What could your mom see, for example? This is very useful for testing those security settings and just making sure that the people you want to see certain things do, and vice versa. If you don't want them to see something, they don't. This is a great way to check your settings. Me, I just want to look at what the public sees. So you'll notice that a lot of my biographical information is revealed to the public because I've set it that way. For example, if an employer wants to find me and offer me a job, I want them to be able to figure out that this is the real Michael Peters working at the International School of Prague. So I've got no problem revealing that bit of information. You'll notice when we get down to the actual timeline, my day-to-day status updates, articles that I post, random quizzes that I respond to, none of them are actually revealed in the timeline. It's only the big stuff that's left there because I've decided that. Photos are a particular concern, so let's have a look and see what is revealed in terms of photos. So these photos are revealed. These are all cover photos. So I guess Facebook figures that if it's a profile photo or a cover photo, that is your public face. You've made that the public face of your profile on purpose, so it's not a problem. But if I click up here and try and get into my other albums, even my profile pictures that are no longer active, it doesn't reveal it to the public. Those are hidden, which is great. So pretty much the only photos that are publicly available on my timeline, at least, are ones that come from my cover photo, which is absolutely fine by me. Just as an aside, if you're wondering how I controlled which biographical information was revealed, if you click on your profile and then go to the About, where all the biographical information is, and click on the Edit button for one of those fields, if you just look here, you can set your work and education as public, private, or whatever you want, just like all the other posts. So you have to actually get into your About field in order to do that. Also remember, if you want to get into the advanced privacy settings, you can always get to the See More Settings button, and that gives you a lot of control over a bunch of things that we didn't get a chance to talk about today. So hopefully, using a combination of these tools and some good common sense, you can really protect your Facebook digital footprint.